I'd say those games were pretty interesting. We actually got to see Tinkertonk play all 3 races right there. Very.
I still rank my Terran higher than my Zerg.
I wonder if FlufflyFlow feels the same way about that. Anyway,
Oh god.
congrats to you,
Ow.
Fluffy. Takes the show match 3-1. And I
Three
say
one. Whoa. Was there a
3-1.
match was there a game I missed? Whoa,
absolutely,
was I
man.
asleep?
I'm just giving him extra points. Don't worry about it. It's like whose line is it anyway? The points don't matter. But let's see here. I think the first thing we can talk about is these new maps, right? What are your thoughts on these new maps, guys? Especially like the ones you got to play today. So Daedalus Point and Habitation Station. Go ahead and you start, Fluffy.
I really like Habitation Station. It's nice having the gold base in the game as a usable expansion for once. So that adds a bit of excitement, I guess.
That is for sure.
I love them. I love them because they're crazy and new and nobody has figured them out yet. Yeah.
There is that as well. You can try basically anything on it, and it could work if the other guy doesn't know where to look. That is for sure.
Cool. I'm gonna like interrupt everybody here
Sure.
because when I said "fuck," I did it again at the beginning of the game. I walled off the wrong ramp.
Oh, well, the good news is you weren't playing Zerg.
Oh god.
Because personally, whenever I do something like that, I'm playing Zerg, and then I get 6 pulled, and I'm like, oh, okay. Well, not 6 pulled, like 10 pulled. Sorry, the one where the wall would actually matter.
Oh.
All right then. You know what, Fluffy? This should be an interesting conversation because since we basically had each matchup pop up, I normally like to ask the players, how do you usually prepare on ladder for a specific matchup? But I guess we can get your thoughts on all 3 here, especially with these new maps. Do you tend to go for more aggressive play yourself, given that nobody really knows them yet, or how do you look at it?
Definitely aggressive. I didn't really play that way during the series, I think, but usually I'm going for a lot of drops. It's like the reason I changed to Terran.
I see. And I can see how that style would definitely help you out in like maps like Altazine. There's just a lot of space to work with.
Yeah, and you drop that natural, and then they get pulled over, and then you take that choke ramp that goes their main.
Crying. Terran drops. I should have just kept going Phoenix.
I gotta say, like I thought that was actually a pretty interesting idea, all things considered. I mean, especially if you had actually picked up the first drop, like really nailed it down.
Yeah.
But then it like that becomes such a brilliant move. But we'll get to that game. I think the first one was on Habitation Station, as I recall. Right?
Yep.
I don't have that in the second game backwards. Good. That was a PVZ. So, have you tried this much on ladder? Tinkertonk, this whole 3 hatch to 4 pull, grab in the face of your opponent as he watches, grab the gold base.
Every single time.
How much success have you had with this?
Not very much.
That's unfortunate.
You know what? I figured, hey, it's gonna work at some point.
I like your commitment to the strategy. All right, FlufflyFlow. Converse yeah, I guess that works. Reverse question. How often do you run into that on that map?
That was like my first time playing that map.
Oh, it was your first time playing it in general. Okay.
Yeah.
What an intro.
So, I haven't seen it before. I've seen 3 hatch, of course, but I was kind of thrown off. I probably should have pressured early, but I was just like, oh, I'll stick with the slow expand. Not a good idea.
My personal thoughts on it is it's not the worst idea, really. Like, if this is a really new map, people haven't played on it a lot, then you can think to yourself, well, okay, even if he goes for the extra base, he probably doesn't really know what to do with the money, and he'll just end up with a lot of money he doesn't spend. Though I imagine after 2 or 3 weeks of this, you'd probably want to be like, okay, let's cheese him. If you see that happening. But I don't know. That's That's kind of where I am on it right now. Any citizen, you got anything pop to your mind that last game?
Well, I was last game. I just thought it was interesting to see you guys for a while mirroring each other's builds and not knowing you were mirroring each other's builds.
Yeah.
That's about the one thing that really
Battle-
stood out. I
The battle
Mech
groups.
Mech TVT. I'm not super familiar with, so I don't have much insight into it, unfortunately. But definitely, the battle cruisers really changed the flow of that game.
Yeah. I feel like personally, if I had when I sent everything over there, I was planning to switch into like Viking Thor, but I feel
Mhm.
like if I had left the Vikings I had already had back at my base and just killed off the tanks, I would have had more for the counterattack.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you had a pretty good lead for a while too. Had he not
And then
had
bam.
the battle cruisers, you would have probably taken that game.
The Banshee, it was like a misclick, and then I was like, whatever, cloak, go.
Yeah.
I actually thought that was incredibly clever, but now that I know
Yeah.
it was totally random. I like how you just rolled with it and did exactly what it needed to do, and then it killed 11 different things, not all of which were workers, which was pretty impressive.
What a
Honestly.
hero Banshee. Yeah, that Banshee play ended up
Wasn't
being
hero
really,
enough.
No man,
no, but you know.
dude, it was actually so close. That's the fun thing about TVT, especially when you're going for those really expensive compositions. Is it's so hard to remax that you lose everything in one moment. You're like, oh god, I'm dead, and sometimes you don't die, like what happened to Fluffy.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So was the battlecruiser something you were planning, or was that a desperation move at that point?
That's my like for mech. I know that's the late game.
Ah, okay, so you were just
So
planning to go
I
there
was
anyway.
losing the tank war badly, so I was like, I need a switch, or else I'm just gonna be playing from behind.
Yeah, yeah.
I tend to overcommit on tanks, just a little bit.
Well, you might have wanted to
It's
trade
not-
out a little bit earlier than you did, maybe.
Yeah. Too
But
bad you can't just press V and erase them. Get your money back.
while you're building them, just like
So-
nope, 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 nope. Oh, that
Yeah.
larva's
No,
gone
no,
now.
the Desert Strike.
Oh, right. Get,
Oh,
get
God,
70% of the money back and then remax and Reapers.
Reaper, yeah.
Remax on Reapers. I just keep going. On Reapers. Come on.
Well, I'm presuming like maybe you did one of the other crazy strats, like all Marauders at the beginning. All big giant guys with guns.
All Marauders.
Like with me playing Terran, I think I tried it in my match against Fade yesterday too, where I opened 2 Reaper and tried to get stuff done, and then I forgot about the Reapers at some point.
Ah,
But like, I think it would have been fun if I just kept going Reapers and never stopped. That would have been fun.
we were wondering if you would do that. We were like, is he just gonna mass Reaper? And then we thought you
Yeah.
were gonna mass Reaper Widowmine, which would have been hilarious. You should try this if you haven't. I have no idea if it
Widowmine.
works.
That one
Yeah.
Widow Mine that was just in my path and I never noticed it.
It's like, you know
Does
what
it kill
happened there?
anything?
I wasn't even watching when that happened. I just saw this like giant blinking circle
that-
happen on the map.
You move that clump of tanks there to right below the Widow Mine, and the AI for the tanks were all trying to clump into that one spot, and one of them just barely nudged the other one right into the range of the Widow Mine. It just looked really funny because it was just like bad AI pathing that caused that Widow Mine to hit your tank.
I love
It's
how
actually really funny.
that was like the story of every game in Brood War. Really, you'd be like, "Yeah,
Yeah.
move across
Yeah,
the map," and then you found one of those stupidly small terrain pathways, and you're like, move up
Oh, no,
it.
this
Oh
AI."
God, why?" You're like, "All right, I made it to his base. That felt like a victory right there."
Now I can shoot something.
All right, guys. I think I'm done with my questions. So anything you want to talk about, I'll just turn the board over to you guys.
I gotta say, Tinkertonk.
Yes.
It's really distracting and hilarious to watch your Skype profile whenever you talk.
Okay, come on, let's focus on the games if possible. But yes, we all love Uncle.
Yeah.
Because it's just like he's like
Oh.
it's like I'm expecting you to just start yelling at me.
I had Skype. I had Skype unavailable that whole time, and I kept seeing pop-ups on the bottom right going, people are signing in, and I'm like, no, go away! I don't want you. Stop.
Oh,
You can
whoops.
close that thing, I believe.
I can.
You can, they
I
come
can
back.
put myself to do not disturb,
just won't.
but I keep forgetting. I keep forgetting. But yeah, that was my first loss, I think, in one of these so far.
Was it?
I
I guess
just
it
had my
was.
first
Yeah,
loss also.
you kind of like edged out every single one. That was.
Yeah.
Tonk, I guess this means that you and I have to play the next show match.
I
Oh,
thought you were gonna
God,
play
yeah.
with Kaisera. He's gonna get really mad if you don't
Yeah,
play with him. I think.
I am gonna play. I'm gonna play Kaisera.
All right. Anyway,
I would like to play Tinkertonk sometime.
Any-
Though. That'd be fun.
anything to add, Fluffy?
No,
No.
not really.
All right.
You knocked out the king
Fluffy,
of the
those
show
are really
match. How
well-played
does that make
games.
you feel?
We haven't had a King of the Hill day yet. You're making me want to though.
Oh, yeah.
Fluffy,
Can we
I
have it on
got. I really
Fruitland?
liked.
Sorry.
Sorry, what?
I was just
Everybody
gonna say,
talk.
I wanted to commend Fluffy on his game the way he played in game 2, especially because
Oh
like
yeah.
he just did such a good job at countering what Tinkertonk had, and then he
Oh,
dropped
God.
right where he needed to, taking out the starboard or the stargates. So really well played on that second game, like really
I'm
well.
going to have nightmares about that drop.
About Terran drops.
You know, honestly,
I always have nightmares.
at that situation, just with the composition that you had, I was expecting him to simply walk up into your third and kill you. And then when he did the drop, I'm like, oh god, this could kill him. If
Yeah.
anything flying sees that coming, I'm like, no,
Uh,
no. And then you
see,
dropped anyway, and we're
my
fine. I was like,
PvT
oh, okay.
My PvT, when I do that, I usually just build phoenixes, and I keep building phoenixes, and I never stop building phoenixes because it's fun to just kill a marine clump with phoenixes.
It is. I will agree with that.
But I stopped and went carriers.
Basically, you made every bad decision that every Protoss has ever made in that situation. You're like,
You were like-
hey, I'm ahead. I'm gonna make carriers.
He was like,
No.
Carriers are cool.
Bronze League heroes. Bronze
Oh, shoot,
League
yeah.
hero.
But yeah, King of the Hill Day. We should totally have it on Fruitland.
Yes,
Only Fruitland.
we could do that. All right, I have to talk. I think we'll
Yes.
talk. We'll throw that up in the thread and see if people want to do it. Anyway, thanks for hanging
right.
out and playing, guys. It's been good.
Yeah.
Not a problem.